This is an emergency.
Yeah.
We are yet to experience another pandemic. Climate change is not a problem for tomorrow, like the different people that I interacted with tend to say.
Hello everyone, my name is Karen Ihimbazwe Amanyire, and wherever you're listening from, wherever you're tuned in from, however you get your podcasts, I'm so glad to be here. This is Skillz East Africa in collaboration with coexist from Kampala, who we like to call GZK, coming together to bring you this podcast. This podcast will be happening every 2 months, and we'll be bringing you stories from a wide array of creatives, I don't want to call them varieties, but different creatives from all over Kampala, all over Uganda. And we want to share stories, want to share experiences, that these journeys can not just intertwine, but they can be shared. Katesi Jacqueline Kalange, aka The Kalange, is a process-based female interdisciplinary visual artist from Uganda. She comfortably expresses herself in sustainable art, where she uses a fusion of sculpture, painting, installation, and performance art while using a multitude of media, recycled, upcycled, and reused material. Her practice involves community involvement through collaborations. Her practice seeks to create further discourse on issues at hand within her community that have been stereotyped to have either political, social, or economic affiliations, which tend to limit people's freedom of speech around them. Furthermore, her practice seeks to spark off both internal and external dialogue amongst her audience, aimed at culminating new perspectives of looking at life, as well as rethinking through how we are inhabiting the planet. Currently, her concept finds its meaning in SDG number 13, which calls for climate action. Amazing. What a bio. What a person. Yeah, I mean, it's so nice to have you here. It's been a hassle getting our first meeting. It's not the best way to meet at first time, but I'm so glad that you honored the invitation and came to chat with us.
The pleasure is all mine.
Yes.
Thank you for hosting me.
Yes. Really, I'm thankful. GZK was like, you need to speak to Kalange and the team at GZK, and we're like, we need to speak to Kalange and check the Kalange, you know? The Kalange. I'm now sounding like those people from outside who just say things the way they see them, and it's not funny at all. The Kalange. Okay.
Yeah, the Kalange.
And they said, speak to her. She has amazing stuff to share with you. She has such an amazing concept. And I guess let's get into it.
Wow, I'm excited.
Yes. Okay, so let's talk about your small grant win for nature invasion. Nature invasion, the first time I saw and heard of it, I thought, this is the twist. This is the twist because humans, as we know, have invaded. We look like we have invaded the planet. Okay, so yes, we're here. But I feel like we've gone to lengths we shouldn't be going to. Okay. Visibly. I live in a place where we have, I live in a kind of campsite area where we say that the inhabitants of this place are the animals, are the trees, are the insects, are the everything. We're just visitors. Sure. Because that is how we found it. And so we should preserve it like that. If you're building a house, clear just enough space, put your house there, don't clear anything else except just your compound. Okay. The animals have to live with you. Find a way. Don't kill them. Let them go their way. Beautiful. So I understood when I saw that. I said, okay, this is the twist. And I just want to hear from you what nature invading means, my understanding aside. Okay. Yeah.
What an introduction. Okay. Nature Invasion 2 is a series of installation art that I embarked on last year with effect from last year. Nature Invasion 1, which was the genesis of all this, started at Kampala Art Festival, which is one of the biggest art events biennial events that happens in Kampala that celebrates contemporary art and kind of shifts it from the galleries to the public spaces. So I was honored and humbled to be one of the many participants. And I had my exhibition space at Spear House along Ginger Road. That is right opposite Nina Interior.
Yes.
And this is where all this was birthed. Calling it birthed, you may ask yourself, why? For me, I consider every work that I do as my babies because the experience that comes with the production process, right from the idea generation, the inspiration, the execution to the final consumer is relatable to the time when a mother is pregnant,
for sure,
the mood swings, the eating of the clay and all those things. And then finally the mother gives birth, the conception stage. So for me, I prefer to call each of my artwork, to call them my babies. So my first baby was during Kampala Art Festival, and I'm choosing to have my second baby at Goth Zentrum, Kamocha. So all this is channeled towards a series that is going to be a lifetime project that I'm embarking on to sensitize the community, to sensitize people about our role and responsibility in waking up and taking part in the different efforts to see that we curb climate change and its impact. So nature invasion in general, without me naming it as nature invasion 1, nature invasion 2, nature invasion 3, nature invasion generally is, it consists of plant-like structures that find their way around one of Kampala's historical buildings. And in this aspect, you find that this is intended to kind of portray the ravishing beauty, the charming appearance of Mother Nature, because just like you gave your opening remarks, we are living with nature. We have a lot of trees, plants, animals around us, but we do not understand the importance that this has towards our coexistence as the human species
and the ecosystem.
Exactly. So you find that we are also part of nature, but we tend to draw a boundary between ourselves and nature, which is not true. That is not true, because we are just an extension of the different types of nature that we coexist alongside. So within these installations, I am using plastic as my main material because you can bear witness to this. Within our country, we have a lot of poor disposal of fossil-based polymers. By this I mean, when you look at the water bodies, look at the soil, you're going to find, we call them buvera. They're everywhere. Why is this the case? We take this for granted because we should I say there's an information gap that needs to be bridged? Maybe that's what I should say. So as a creative, my projects are community-based. So I collaborate with the different communities. So within this series, I intend to move around the different parts of my country and maybe even internationally, hopefully. I kind of create a sense of awareness, sensitization. We start with some form of dialogue. What do they think about how plastic is being disposed? And how are they looking at the future of plastic vis-a-vis our planet? So after this dialogue has been stimulated, we sit down with the community, organize a day, move around, collect this plastic from the respective disposal grounds. Then it's undergone through a series of cleaning, washing, so that it's not harmful to our health. And from that stage, we then expose it to the sun for drying and other techniques. So after the cleaning process, we then embark on getting the frame onto which the weaving is going to occur. Most of my inspirations are inspired by Mother Nature. So you find that my first baby, it was inspired by Omulondo, which is scientifically known as ginseng or Mondia waitei. So you find that some of these herbs coexist with us, but we have lost track on the importances that they have on our lives as human beings. Most of the time when we fall sick, we are rushing for the pharmaceuticals, which is not bad. But on the other side, this comes with other side effects. Yet we have nature at our disposal. So for me, I was kind of also creating a discourse around how we are utilizing what God blessed us with.
Yeah.
So with this installation, it's also meant to kind of create a discourse around how architectural developments are happening at the expense of Mother Nature. Because just like you aired out in your introduction, for architecture to find its space,
yes,
we are losing nature.
Yeah, you have to
swamp reclamation.
Some things up.
Thank you so much. Swamp reclamation, deforestation, among others. So that is what my installations entail, and they are all channeled towards SDG number 13,
yes,
that talks about climate action. Now, talking about climate action, this is not something new. This is something that is a common topic globally.
Right now,
we are hearing very many people coming up and they are adding their voices onto the same message. So for me as a creative, I also choose and still choose to take part in playing my part in contributing towards spreading the same message. Through my research conducted, I discovered there is an information gap. I understand people have heard about this, but maybe they're not getting the message straight to them in a way that is more understandable. Because you understand when most of these messages come in, they tend to have a specific language in maybe English. So for me as a visual artist, because there's one author that said, an image can communicate 1,000 words.
Yes.
So that is where I'm coming in. I'm coming in and choosing to use visual art. Yes, visual art to sort of create a common language that is globally and universally understood. So climate change is real.
Yeah.
Climate change is happening now. Climate change is not a problem for tomorrow, like the different people that I interacted with tend to say.
Yeah.
You find that in Uganda as a country, we are already experiencing a lot of climate change effects.
Visibly.
Uganda basically has a tropical form of climate, which is characterized by stable rainfall patterns.
Yes.
But with the effects of climate change, you find that these patterns are getting disrupted.
Yeah, they're changing right now. You just never know what's going on.
So we are tending towards having shorter or longer rainfall patterns. And then we're also having drastic droughts. The droughts are so intense.
Yes.
Look at eastern Uganda and northeastern Uganda. Actually, a case in point, we're having Karamoja, where we're having the famine.
Yeah, people really aren't having any food. It's crazy to know that that's happening right now.
Exactly. But most of these things are happening, and we do not know how to have this not happen again.
Yes.
The prevention measures are lacking, because there are situations whereby this is happening this year and it will happen the next year and it will happen the other year. So the question is, what are we doing to see that this doesn't come back again?
Yeah.
So with this all happening around us, we recently also had, I think when the pandemic had just started, we had a rise in the water levels in Lake Victoria, where the surroundings were affected by these floods. Then we also have high frequencies of extreme weather events. The ones I've mentioned, the floods, the droughts. We have had a number of events, even the high temperatures. Do you remember a time whereby even at night we had very hot temperatures?
Yeah.
I think it's still happening. So for me, I feel there is more to be done in bridging the information gap.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you. And I mean, that's a lot to take in, of course. The topic of climate change is definitely a lot to take in. I don't even know. I don't know if that's also the reason why people are evading it out, because they think it's just weather changes or it's just something. I don't know if they understand, but indeed you said there's information gap somewhere. And while you were mentioning the information gap situation, I think you were also talking about I want to say conservation, or I want to say just how we maintain our environment. And I was thinking that is also true. And I was wondering, do you also think that it is also a system problem in there intertwined within all of this information situation? Because while we've seen them try to inform people, hey, do not litter, what caveras this, caveras that. They tried to ban caveras. That was not successful. I don't know if people with stories about people losing their jobs and whatnot. I don't know why it wasn't taken seriously. We know that there's repercussions to happen if we're to do certain things, but I feel like they could have figured out a way to get back people's jobs, those who'd lost them. I'd say I know there are options. There really are so many options. But even if the city says, or the country says we're putting bins everywhere, I've seen bins everywhere in town, but there's people still littering outside. I'm wondering, is it a lack of stringent measures and things like that? Just things to do with the system. How do we exist in informing people within a system that can't even follow itself up? Like they're trying to do something, or we see you doing something, but there's no follow-up for how to maintain what they're trying to do. It's like you just throw a solution at people and say, I did something. Okay. And there's no, so that's for me what I've seen. It's sad to see, because a follow-up and just evaluating what you've done is what's important.
Sure.
That's how you know you did any work. Other than that, the bins are not as many as they used to be, and in fact it's not like they did that much of a job. So I feel like as creatives, we're taking on a lot of a huge burden, and it comes from our hearts to do it. Okay. But then again, I feel like efforts can be frustrated as well, and it's a never-ending situation.
Definitely.
We need to see, a call to action for governments and all of that. Okay. And I know that that's happening. I know that we're trying. I know, but it's going to be a continuous thing. Hey. Yes. Yeah. But also I know that I know that you're still in the process of finishing this project, this installation. I don't know how it's looking now. I don't know how you're feeling about it right now and the extent of it. How far is it going right now? Where are you at? What stage are you at in the project?
I'm in the concluding stages because for my production process, it entails a number of processes. Yes. I'm at a stage where the weaving is finished. I'm now doing final touches. Okay. And I'm also in my studio trying to execute the various outfits that will be worn on that day.
Or those people that are going to be involved?
Yes. Okay. Collaborating with the community still to have a performance. Nice. Alongside the installation. Okay. So I'm now working on the outfits and I'm doing final touches and it's basically that.
What's your estimated time for when you think it's going to be done and presentation?
Well, for that, I can't tell exactly, but I feel within the next 2 months.
2 months. You're giving it about 2 months.
Yes, 2 months. Everything will be completely done.
Okay, that's going to be something to see.
Sure. Yeah. I will keep you posted. And then you mentioned something. Yes. About how maybe the system has some more work to do in regards to sensitizing the masses about climate justice. Well, I agree with you on one side. And on the other side, I also say we as the masses, we as the community also have to stand up and own this up.
True.
Because at the end of the day, we have one planet.
True.
We have one planet and we shall not have any other planet.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, we are the ones benefiting from this planet. Yes, I understand we have our leaders that are in charge of guiding us here and there. But at the same time, we also need to be positive-minded, to be optimistic, and take up most of this information for the better of today and tomorrow. Meanwhile, you find that people, when it comes to polythene bags consumption, should I say we kind of are paying a deaf ear? Because I realize the government tried to come up with a polythene bag ban, which is still ongoing. But you find that if you move down to those restaurants, the local restaurants and the different spaces, people are using these polythene bags for cooking.
Wow. Yeah.
For cooking matoke.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day,
it's wild.
What you're cooking, you're having these chemicals into the food you're going to eat. These are some of the things that will cause diseases like cancer. So at the end of the day, yes, I understand the authorities have their part to play, but we also have a part to play. And then, coming back to the authorities, my point of advice would be, yes, they have tried their best, but I now request it's time the basic figures and the basic facts are brought on board, just like any form of research. Whenever you use figures, people understand the magnitude of the problem. People get to feel how intense the situation is. And this is an emergency. We are yet to experience another pandemic.
True.
If we are not careful.
Yeah. And again, I don't know, just to chip in there is because I'm saying, well, that's true, and we are sensitizing each other as communities, but for a long time, and for some reason that seems to slow down. I get the impression that people heed to authority and consequence somehow. And I can tell my neighbor, hey, the Kavera, it's going to get you sick and whatnot, and they'll ask me, so what do you want me to use?
I understand.
I don't have banana leaves. Then you can suggest to them a solution. Then before you know it, because the Kavera is very accessible, tomorrow or the day after they'll just pick it up. But imagine those things are stopped in production. They're nowhere to be found. We can't find them. You can hoard them for a while. Then after that, they'll disappear because you've used them up.
True.
Just imagine the impact that would make.
True.
For me, I think it can be a bit myopic to think or tunnel vision to think in one direction. But I feel like while we do our work, we need that support of just policies. Standing their ground, but also following through with what they're saying. If you're going to ban once and for all, pull the plug.
Some form of
kill
feedback.
The thing. Kill it. Let's see how to survive without them. Let's see. We'll survive. Paper bags are not such a bad idea. And even though it's paper, it's also, trees get cut down. I don't know how we win in this situation, but we can plant more trees. I'm thinking it's easy, it's less harmful than Kavera. I don't know if that makes me a bad advocate. What does that make me look like? To talk about using paper instead of Kavera.
Well, both sides have
a thing.
Yeah, they have a thing.
Okay, but let's just move to I'm interested in hearing. Okay, so we're going to look forward to seeing that whenever that's ready. And we'll let the people know.
Definitely.
But I wanted to go quickly to ask you about the Prince Claus Fund that you recently won. That must have been exciting.
Yeah, it was.
Must have been exciting.
It was.
So what was that experience like? That's a personal experience of it, real quickly.
Well, my experience can't be quantified.
Yes.
I must say, every day that passes by, I'm just grateful and humbled.
Yes.
Having been honored to be one of the recipients of the Prince Claus Mentorship Awards Building Beyond 2021 was a turning point in my life as a visual artist. It's something that I don't take for granted. It's an opportunity that opened up very many more doors for me. This came with a lot of advantages and benefits for me as a creative. And I must say, already things are working out great with support from this fund. Yes. And I can't wait to keep all of you posted.
Wow. I mean, let's talk about these doors opening.
Yes.
You may not get into specifics, or you may, but I think this is important for other creatives to know that one thing could open a door to another.
Sure.
And it just takes you trying your hand at it, shooting your shot, as we call it today. Do what you have to do. Yes. What's your message for another creative out there who's just really trying their best? Okay. And they just need a bit of a boost. Sometimes it takes a grant. Sometimes it takes someone seeing your work and saying, hey, let's expose you to a broader world of this. And then suddenly there's doors. What do these doors, what does, I don't know if you get what I mean.
I definitely get your point. Yes. Well, the benefits are quite many. Yeah. But I'll break down a few. The Prince Claus Fund Mentorship, the Prince Claus Mentorship Award entails a mentorship program, which is annual. So we started right in January and are still undergoing mentorship with 4 mentors that were selected from the different parts of the globe. Yes. So we have been in dialogue. We hold Zoom meetings, where we come together as a collective and discuss and continue framing and improving on our respective proposals, aimed at seeing us achieve what we involved within our application forms for this award.
Because what you said you would do, you have mentorship to get you there.
Exactly.
You have all of this wealth of knowledge.
Exactly.
From the different cultures that you've met in this. Is it would you call it a collective or a fellowship or a? What would you call a collective? Right.
Yes.
Amazing. I feel like we need to encourage more artists to look out for. You want to say something?
Yes, I want to say something. Well, with this industrious guidance from very great creatives all over the globe, has come also a fund. A fund that has kind of beefed up. A fund that has uplifted my practice as a creative, because before this fund, there are certain constraints I had, and finances were one of them. Because just like creatives, we need the funds. We need the funds to access certain services to see us through. So I'm very, very grateful for this opportunity. It is a blessing, I must say. And it's a blessing that I would really want to see very many more creatives tap into. Now, you brought up a question that is very interesting. How do other creatives tap into such brilliant opportunities? Now, this comes with keeping updated. How do you keep updated? It's through strengthening your social circles. As creatives, we always have social circles. By social circles, I mean the respective art supporting spaces first at home within our country.
Yes.
We have places like 32 East Degrees, Ugandan Arts Trust. We have Goth Zentrum itself.
Yes.
We have Zensonad Space. We have Afri Art. We have a lot of artist circles. We
Spaces.
have Uvada. We have Nomo Gallery. So within all these spaces, they tend to hold members meetings. They tend to invite people for exhibitions.
Yes.
So through all these events, you're able to connect with different people. And it is through these different people that you can get more informed about
what's going on, what to plug into.
Exactly.
The opportunities are endless.
Exactly. So, and then besides keeping within the social circle, I also recommend artists to keep doing the work, because at the end of the day, for you to apply for these opportunities, you need the work that speaks for itself.
Yes.
So I would greatly advise my fellow creatives to keep doing the work, trusting the process, and they keep connecting with fellow artists. Let's not work alone. Let's open up. Yes, there are very many opportunities.
Yes.
And most importantly, as we work, let's have a concept, because most times it's a story that is selling. People want to know, what are you telling them? What story are you, selling to the rest of the globe?
Yeah.
Yes. So for me, that's basically it.
Amazing. So for me, my take home as a creative is, what is my work? What do I believe in? What do I stand for? What am I doing? And then can I go and meet like-minded people?
Yes.
Share spaces with them, interact, share minds, and then see a world of opportunity open up around that. Because also there's an importance in collaboration, and collaboration also comes from networking and all of these things. People around us are really our gateway to anything and everything. It just doesn't come from thin air.
Yeah, it doesn't.
It doesn't. But these spaces are here. So creatives out there, this is for you. This is for you. Get out there. Get out your comfort zone. A lot of creatives are very, very introverted. And by the way, they really stick to their spaces. But get out there and see what's out there.
Sure.
We need this access more than ever. And we've spoken about what the future would look like for action to be taken, both by the people, both from each other as a community, but also from the system.
Yes.
And we've also talked about wanting everyone to know that we all have a part to play in all of this.
Yes.
We all have a part to play. And yesterday I sat next to a man who kept throwing things out the window. Now my defense is I was zoned out in a taxi, and as having a long journey, I was zoned out. So it's as soon as the thing would fly out the window that I would actually wake up to see that he actually crossed his hand over to the window and threw it out. I could not reverse that. Yeah. Happened twice. The first time I said, "Oh, come on. I don't think he had that." The next time I actually did tell him, "Please do not litter."
Yes.
Because I felt like I couldn't reverse the action again, but also I didn't want to let it go. So I told him, "You know what, don't litter. Just drop it in the taxi, and the taxi guy will know what to do." This is my assumption, that the taxi guy also knows that when he goes to clean his taxi, he's not going to dump the rubbish outside. Sure. So that's my hope, that he doesn't. But it starts with one action to know I'm not going to drop it on the road or so. I also know that nature is, for you, nature invasion is for nature to reclaim its space.
Yes.
Where it has been before, where it should be, where its home is. And that is also the heart of your project as well, right?
Yes.
What are your future prospects like? Like, okay, in the next couple of months, you're going to be finishing this project. And then after that, how is that going to look like? Is the Prince Claus project different from this one, the Nature Invasion project? Is it, have you woven them together and you're putting it all in one? Or how is that looking like? What are you working on?
Well, my future prospects, I intend to fully complete the Goth Zentrum project within the next 2 months and have it exhibited. The community will be informed because at the end of the day, this is intended to create awareness. Now, for the Prince Claus Fund project, it's a different project.
Okay.
It's different in the sense that there are two different babies, as I call them. But it's still the same concept. It's still Mother Nature invasion.
Yes.
Though the Goth Zentrum project is Mother Nature invasion 2, and the Prince Claus Fund project is Mother Nature invasion 4.
Okay.
So I'm looking at reaching out to very many more communities as well, even after the Prince Claus Fund and the Goth Zentrum project. Just like I aired out, this is a lifetime project. So far I've worked with Kampala, the Kampala community. So for the Kampala Art Festival, I collaborated with the community of Namere, that side of Mpelere. I worked with the women and the different youth. I think you can bear witness to this. As a country, we have a big percentage of the young people being unemployed. And most of them are tending to resort to what we would call crimes. So with such projects, they are also intended to empower the community and kind of have them rethink through some of these acts that we consider very egregious. So I collaborated with the Mpelere community in Namere, and for this Goth Zentrum project, I collaborated with the Wakiso community, that is, to be specific, the women of Budo. And I look forward to collaborating with very many more different communities in the respective parts of the country. This is all intended and channeled towards spreading the message further and obtaining a wider coverage. So I have a lot of dreams for the future, but I'll keep you posted. So for now, that is what I have straight clear.
Amazing. I honestly just wish you the very, very best as you keep going, as you finish. I know that you're doing your master's degree, trying to finish that, trying to get the Prince Claus project going, trying to finish it. There's so much going on. But that's the life of a creative. That's the life of anyone working out of a passion and a love for something. So I wish you the very best as you do these things. We just look forward to seeing that these babies come to life and just celebrating what these will look like. And we'll also let the people know to check them out when they're up and running.
Amazing.
So thanks for coming. Thanks for coming and being with us and talking with us. This has been very enlightening just to talk about, because I feel like when we share our stories, there's someone out there relating, whatever their what do they call it, discipline is. They're relating in so many ways, because our experiences can be a testament to someone else's prospects. It's like, okay, I can do this too. This is possible for me. This is out there for me. So thank you for sharing your story.
You're welcome, and thank you so much for hosting me. It has been such a great honor.